want to chat, please feel free to contact me.
Welcome to Western Door Paranormal Studies. My name is Tony Burtis, your host, and this is the Cold Spring Cemetery in Lockport, New York. The historic Cold Spring Cemetery. Now, this cemetery has been on my radar since I began ghost hunting many years ago. Now, what makes this cemetery haunted? Well, the one story stems from a hitchhiker that was murdered in this very cemetery. Now, the claims have her roaming the cemetery grounds, the site of her murder, and she has been spotted many times by people who have came into the cemetery, not, of course, looking for ghosts. Those are the types that usually wind up finding them. But I've also researched the cemetery and I researched the claims, and to me, it just seems like there's a lot more going on here than just the residual haunt of a murder, so to speak, because the claims range from bad feelings to feelings of being watched. Now, when I first pulled into the cemetery today, my breath was taken away. Now, it wasn't by the sheer beauty of the cemetery. It's a very old cemetery. It's an amazing place, but sometimes when you go into a place, you just kind of get that feeling. And I definitely got the feeling of that upon coming into this cemetery. Now, the claims vary wildly. Most of them are regular claims of paranormal activity. Some are very deep and they're just unusual. Cars not starting, people hearing growls, of course seeing like entities everywhere, and of course people taking photography at night get their standard orbs, ecto, people being touched, people actually having claims getting scratched, bitten, things like that that seem like they would almost be demonic in nature. Now, being in this cemetery, I get a feeling that there's a lot more going on, once again, than just a murdered hitchhiker. I've been waiting to come here for a long time, been waiting to come here and see what I can dig up on the claims of the paranormal in this cemetery. Now, as far as its reputation, it's right up there with Gutenberg and the other cemeteries in this area. This is my first time here. I'm really stoked. So let's check out this cemetery here and let's see if we can catch evidence of the paranormal. Okay, now while I'm going through the cemetery, I'm actually using two devices here that can help me pick up on electromagnetic fields. Of course, electromagnetic fields, it is commonly believed, are what spirits are made of. And if they come into contact with any of these two devices, they will make the numbers on this go from 0 all the way up to 7, 8, 9 or higher. This is called a ghost meter, and this is called also a ghost meter. It kind of works on the same principle of a K2 meter, except this one here has a dial, it makes noise, and it has lights out if I come into any ambient possible paranormal energy. Coming into a paranormal pocket also, it could be spirit using the energy around it to manifest. Now I'm deep into this cemetery. In this situation, I have no overhead wires or anything like that, so any EMF fields I get could potentially be paranormal. 2, I had it up to 3 a minute ago. Is that a spirit here trying to communicate with me? Possibly walking with me? 3, that's high. 2, can you touch me? Can you make the meter go higher? 3, 2. This is high for having no EMF. It's pointing out at 4, 5. Now I almost kind of have to. I'm right up to those. Well, there's a 3 and a 4. Five, 4. I'm underneath it. I have no business being underneath it. Send a picture. It's insane. Never come across that. One of the more common, if you want to say that, bits of evidence we get in the paranormal field is an EVP. EVP stands for electronic voice phenomenon. It's when you get a disembodied voice on a recording device, and that's exactly what we did. So when I was out there, I got one EVP, but it was a very good one. As I was leaving to go from one point to another, a male voice whispers, "Wait." Check it out. Another piece of evidence I get quite often is called a VVP. VVP stands for video voice phenomenon. It's just like an EVP, except you're getting a disembodied voice on a video recording device. So instead of a handheld recorder, it's actually coming through on a video camera, which is significant because you can't see what's making or the voices right there, but it's clearly there. Now, I get 2 in succession that I can't make out what they're saying, but clearly something's trying to communicate. So I just kind of call them whispers. So check out these 2 VVPs and see what you think. I'm going to put out, and down here into the railroad cut, I'm spiking out to the yellow now. It's the railroad cut. Now, I took a lot of pictures of the cemetery, and when you're doing a paranormal investigation, you definitely have the camera ready, and you take a lot of pictures. It's the most basic piece of equipment a ghost hunter can have. Now, more often than not, you get the standard orbs, ecto, light refractions, anything like that. It's actually pretty cool, This time I got two pictures that I can't exactly explain. One seems to be a daytime orb, and in the same picture there seems to be some kind of, I don't know, demonic form that seems to be taking place near one of the stones. I'm going to have them highlighted, so definitely check those out. Now, another picture I got, to me anyways, seems to show some kind of shadow people that I actually captured. Now, these two pictures were taken in the broad daylight. Now, of course, I'm also have the shadow people highlighted. So check these out and let's see what you think. I am about to show you something that's gonna blow your mind. Now, it's up there at that old crypt there, and above that is what's called the water tower from hell. Now, there's actually stones near that water tower, and let's just put it this way. Somebody left a Ouija board right in front of that mausoleum. So, come on. I'm not even gonna cut this part out. Let's go take a look. Now, I'm nowhere near any power sources either, and I have my ghost meter with me, the one that's going to light up and make noises if I come across any ambient energy. This is mind-boggling. This is one thing I didn't expect to see on this trip. I've never seen this before. In all the cemeteries I've been at, this is a first. Behold, someone left a Ouija board. Is there a spirit connected to this Ouija board? Can you move the planchette? Can you move the planchette or make that ghost meter go off? Who were they trying to contact with this Ouija board? Were they successful in making contact? Can you move the planchette by itself? This is crazy. What's the name of the spirit that may or may not have been communicated with using that Ouija board? This is how people get attachments. Folks, that's how people get attachments. That's an example of what not to do. That's someone coming here and fooling around with the paranormal, and nothing good can come out of that. Let's go take a look at that water tower from hell. That's mind-boggling. This is how you know, if there is demonic activity in this cemetery, it probably wasn't there before. It's from people coming out and doing things like that, and they probably unleashed their own demon, or possibly just scared the hell out of themselves. But this is the first time I've ever came across something like this randomly in a cemetery. Is anyone here lingering who they contacted through that Ouija board? There's the water tower from hell. Anybody here want to come out? Give me a sign of their presence. I don't need a Ouija board. This is probably the most bizarre thing I've seen in all my years of ghost hunting in cemeteries. There's a random stone right there by what obviously was meant to be a fire. And nothing but down, folks. This is definitely where accidents happen. Hoping that the animal's just fighting in trees. You know what else I just kind of noticed? That tombstone? And someone's underwear. I really could be someone doing some wood cutting. Water tower from hell, ladies and gentlemen. And the stones that lead up to it. This is crazy. Makes you think this is probably one of the hot spots of this entire cemetery. Just seeing this and experiencing this kind of makes this whole part of the leg of the trip. Look at this tree. Look what it does. Broken arm comes down, snakes down, and rests right in the mound of that mausoleum that has the Ouija board in front of it. It's crazy. I have never seen anything like this. Take a little safer path down to retrieve my tripod. This is a golden opportunity. If something's here, really here, give me a sign. I'm going to check this Ouija board again. Crazy. That is outrageous. That was insane. Cold Spring Cemetery, Lockport, New York. It was certainly worth the wait. Now, like I said before, when I first got into the cemetery, I was taken away. I was definitely blown away. The place is just beautiful. The older part of the cemetery is the area where I got the most feelings of possible paranormal activity. And I got those couple of pictures. I definitely got the EVP, and I got the couple of VVPs. Now, once again, as we were leaving, I came across that Ouija board in front of that mausoleum, and of course the water tower from hell. I have never came across anything like that before, and I was definitely taken aback by that entire scenario. Now, a place that's got reported paranormal activity, people are attracted to. Now, if it was only the spirit of the murdered girl at the cemetery, that's one thing. But then whoever seems to have had the Ouija board there, if there's other demonic activity in the cemetery, it's very possible that it was brought out through whoever was actually manipulating that board, which illustrates the dangers of the Ouija board. Now, I did come across all those energies that really shouldn't have been there out of place. When I was doing the walk with the ghost meter, I was getting 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, and a lot of that was actually away from any wires. So I certainly couldn't explain that, except I was possibly walking through some spirits. Now, I'm definitely not done with this cemetery. I plan on going back sometime soon, possibly next year. I want to do a nighttime investigation. I want to go there and see what I can pick up with the cameras at night. More likely using just a regular flash photography, because I still have a feeling about this cemetery. I feel that a lot of it is untapped, and I feel that a lot of the negative energy is just coming from that mausoleum, and it probably has nothing to do with whoever's buried in that mausoleum. It's probably more to do with what the people were doing with that Ouija board. Was something unleashed at the Cold Spring Cemetery? Well, there's reports of a lot of demonic activity. So while I personally, except for that one picture that I'm questioning, didn't encounter anything demonic, I definitely felt a lot of energies in this cemetery. And I do plan on going back to see if I can pick up more and expand the investigation. So, Cold Spring Cemetery, don't go alone. And it's a beautiful cemetery, a lot of great Gothic monuments, a lot of things to see. So I do recommend you go there and check it out. Just be careful. There's a lot of cliffs. The water tower from hell has a lot of drop-offs, and don't play down there by the railroad tracks. So thank you for watching this show. Cold Spring Cemetery, haunted? Yes, I believe I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that there are spirits there. The only disappointment I had was I couldn't come up with the girl, but possibly we're going to come up with that one at a future investigation.